Good morning, everybody. I want to apologize for being a couple of minutes late this morning. I got some sad news this morning, so I had to deal with that first before I could go live. So I'm hoping I've got everything organized and it will run smoothly today. All right. My name is Debbie Foster, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm located in Bismarck, Arkansas, and I want to welcome you here today. And grab your chair, your beverage of choice, and sit down and let's enjoy some card making today. Okay. I just got a message there. I kind of got distracted. All right. Today is Thursday, August 13th, 2026. So I'm going to go ahead and go over our housekeeping notes first. So let me bring those up. First off, we've got paper pumpkin. And I need to find it here. For the month of, this is the September paper pumpkin kit. You've got from August 11th, which was a couple days ago, until September 10th to sign up for this one. And let me get my paperwork here. I'm not even ready to go. So let me grab that. Give me a moment. Okay. All right. I apologize for that. I'm not organized this morning. Okay, for the month of the September paper pumpkin kit is called Aspens of Gratitude. It says, share your gratitude with cards featuring beautifully hand-painted woodland designs. It makes 10 cards, 5 each of 2 designs with 10 coordinating envelopes, pre-cut paper pieces, self-adhesive gem embellishments, and the Stampin' Spot with this one is going to be Early Espresso. And it says, customize your cards with 2 stamp options for each label. So, looks pretty interesting. Some fall trees there. They look pretty. And then to go along with that, you can add on the dies that coordinate with July, August, and September paper pumpkin kits. And these are $13. The item number is 168664. So if you're a first-time paper pumpkin kit orderer, you can add that on. Or if you're already a paper pumpkin subscriber, you can add that to your order. But you have to be a paper pumpkin subscriber in order to get those. All right. And then next we have 2 new kits this month. One is called Crafted Blooms Kit. You don't get the boards with them. You just get the kits. And I think it's only like $14. You don't get a stamp set. It has all the sentiments already on the punch-out papers that go along with it. So there's no stamping to this one. And then next we have another new kit. It is for Halloween. It's called the Witchy Whimsy Hat Kit. And the hat is made out of cloth. It's not paper, so it's quite substantial. All right. And then we still got our paper sale going on. And this is 10% off select designer series paper and cardstock while supplies last. So this runs all the way until the end of August, which is August 31st. So you might want to add some of those to your order. And then if your order is $75 or more, you can add on the product of the month for August, which is Glow of Harvest 12 by 12 specialty designer series paper. It's only one-sided, and it says that they're pearlized. So I'm waiting for mine to come. So it should be here in the next couple of days so I can show it next week. Its pearlized finish adds a lovely shimmer to every page. Tighter patterns make excellent backgrounds. And you see some samples of cards there with that. Really pretty. So that's $5 with a $75 order. And if you're thinking about getting that, you might want to get your order in fairly soon because I look for this one to sell out. All right. And did we go through all the housekeeping? I think we did. So let me remove that, put me back on stage. All right. And I feel like I'm forgetting something, but my brain isn't working right now. A friend of ours just passed away this morning, so I'm kind of not with it really good. So I hope you'll forgive me if I mess up on things too much today. Just hang in there with me. I was going to cancel, but my husband said to go ahead and do it, do my live. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, enough of that. I said my name and everything, but I didn't say where I was from. I'm from Bismarck, Arkansas. So we are hot, hot, hot this week in the hundreds. So I think the heat index is like 109. Not really comfortable out there. So stay in the air conditioning as much as I can. All right. Today we're going to be doing some hot foiling. And I'm waiting for my machine to heat up here. So let me bring that over here. And I'll point you down to my desk. Be sure you comment when you come on, say hello, where you're watching me from. It's fun to see where everybody is. And I want to put the invitation out there to join my team also. You can join for $100. Stampin' Up! Will send you a welcome box with all kinds of goodies in it. It's like a $65 value box that they send in to you free. And then they'll send you a coupon after you sign up for $125, which you can use on your first order that you put in after you become a demonstrator. But you don't have to be a demonstrator like I am. You can just do it as a hobby or a discount shopper, because you'll get a discount on all your orders that you put in. It's a percentage. It starts out at, I think it's 20%. So that's a little extra bonus. All right, I'm trying to figure out what I want to go with first. We're going to do the hot foiling card first. So it's going to be a birthday card. And again, I apologize if I mess up too much today. All right. It says, happy birthday. Look at that foiling. Isn't that pretty? Can never have too much bling, I say. And then on the inside, it says, I didn't forget your birthday. I just wanted it to last longer. And that sentiment I'm using comes from, let me get the stamp set here. It comes from the Phrases and Frames. And the sentiment right here. I love all these sentiments, a little bit of everything. All right. We're waiting for our machine to start up here. So I'm going to get myself situated here and get things out. We're going to start out with our card base. Let me move my cord out of the way. It's bugging me. It takes about 7 minutes to heat up the hot foil machine. So we got Barely Blush, which is one of our new in colors. And this measures 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches. And then it's scored at 5 1/2 inches. So we're just going to burnish that fold line real good with our bone folder. And then we have our Designer Series paper, which comes from the gingham. Where did I put that? Well, I don't have it out here. Where is it? Things are falling. Well, I just had it yesterday. I guess I put it away. Why would I do that? It's supposed to stack stuff up on our desks. Okay, it's the 2026 to 2028 in color gingham gallery. And we're using the Barely Blush one. And we're going to do some hot foiling on top of that using the Swiss Dots folder. So I'll get all of our supplies out here. That's a large plate. And the machine shouldn't take very long. It was on before, but I just restarted it, so it's taking a little time. And I'm trying to decide which side I want to use. I think I want to use this side. It's got more coloring than larger checks. And that measured 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And then we also have our, this is a light pink foil. You get 2 rolls in a box. And I cut it down to size to go onto my designer series paper. I put the foil first and then that will dye first. And just waiting for that to heat up. Let me see. What can I talk about? I went over all of our housekeeping notes. We'll just give that a minute. And well, come on, you should be beeping here. I guess I should have left it plugged in. All right, be sure you comment when you come on. Say hello. Where are you watching me from? This is going to beep in a minute. And then we'll put our plate on top of that after that beeps. Maybe I should have started with a different card first. Sitting here waiting. The ribbon that we're going to be using is the Barely Blush bordered ribbon. And I'm also going to use the butterfly, what's it called? Butterfly Flight hot foil dies. We're going to make some butterflies if we ever get heated up here. If you're watching me after the replay on this, you can fast forward to miss all this where we're waiting. You won't have to waste your time sitting there doing nothing. You can fast forward, but we can't do that on lives. So I guess what I could do is work on the inside. Let's work on the inside while we're waiting. Our inside layer is our basic white, 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And we're going to stamp our sentiment in there. Which is, I didn't forget your birthday. I just wanted it to last longer. And I just used our basic black ink pad or black memento that I put into my craft matte stamp pad. And we'll go ahead and stamp that sentiment while we're waiting. Centered towards the top. All right. Well, when you're waiting for something that's taken longer than I expected, that's going to be our inside layer, but we're going to add a butterfly to that too. So we'll go ahead and put that down inside of our card. I guess I could go ahead and glue that. Using my faithful Tombow glue. That's my adhesive of choice. And put that inside of our card while we're waiting. All right. And we're still waiting. Doesn't seem like it usually takes this long after I've unplugged it and plugged it back in again. It must have cooled off a lot. Maybe the air conditioning affected it. All right, there's our. Uh-oh. Maybe it was ready to go. I didn't hear it beep before. on, baby, warm up. We're waiting for the red light to quit blinking and it beeped. Okay, so now we put our die down with the knots facing up. You put the smooth side down. And then we're going to put our foil on top of that. And our cardstock, or our designer series paper, I should say. And then we're going to grab our plates. We have the hot foil shim, and then our hot foil spacer plate. And then we're going to unplug that. And need to make some room, bring my cut and emboss machine up here. If you have a big shot, this won't fit through it. So our Stampin' machine is made a little bit wider than the big shot is. Now I want to go slow going through, so make sure everything adheres right. I'm in love with this hot foiling. And we're coming out with some Christmas things to go with it next month. So you want to watch for those. All right. Place that back down here. Take off our plates. All right. And I'm going to just slide this onto my cooling mat. Camera. I'm going to bring that back over here. I'm going to plug that back in again. And where's my cord? There it is. So it shouldn't take that long to heat it up this time. All right, let's do the reveal of our dots, our Swiss dots. Isn't that pretty? I love it. Is the camera picking them up? Yeah. Okay. Now that can go onto our front of our card. Bring our adhesive back over here. I had 3 cards planned for today, but I might narrow it down to just doing 2. We'll see how we are with time. You know, I'm doing the hot foiling. That takes a little extra time to do. Okay, so it's onto our card front. And then next we have 2 other ones we're going to do. All right, we're going to do our butterflies next. So this comes with the hot foil die and the cutting dies. So the hot foil, you can tell the difference. It's kind of a duller color. And then these are the die cuts. So we're waiting for that to heat up one more time. Okay, there is our bill. Put down our butterfly die. And then the pink foil. Oops. Kind of shaky today. I guess getting that news this morning. All right, and we'll grab our plates back over here. The green hot foil shim first, then the spacer plate. And set that aside, bring our machine back up here. Unplug. And we're going to run that through slow. Now we're die cutting, we want to go faster. This is a slow process. Gives it a better impression the slower you go. And you don't want to go back the opposite direction again. You want to go just one swipe through. That down. And we'll grab our butterflies off of there. And then I'm going to also use the classic greetings. And I gotta get my cord up here. So here's the classic greetings. We've got happy birthday, get well, thank you, thinking of you, and celebrate. And then it's got the dies that cut them out. So we're going to go with happy birthday. So let me see. Happy birthday is right here. And I'll also grab the die out of there too at the same time. I think it's this one. Or not. Let me see. No, that's not the right one. Oh, let's be this one. Yeah. All right. And I'm going to set this there. We're still waiting for our machine to heat up. So let's do our reveal on our butterflies. Very pretty. Can you see the shine? All right. We're going to color these butterflies, and I'm going to use, my inks are over here I'm reaching for. I've got some birthday cards to show today too, so you might want to stick around to the end to see that. All right, here's our stamp pads that we're using. It should be going off in just a second. Okay, and then we put our die on there. Hit it again to let it heat up. And we've got masks to use on these. Where are my masks? There. So this has 4 masks with it, but I'm going to use 1 through 3. They're numbered, but I used a Sharpie and wrote so that I can see them better because the numbers are kind of hard to see on the plastic there. Okay. It should be going off here in a minute. And bring my brushes over here. Two small ones. All right, so we're going to match up our mask onto our foiled butterflies. And they're easy to line up. So we're going to start out with our very first. Okay, that's done. Let's turn back to that again. We've got our foil cut to size. And our cardstock. And bring our plates back over. Foil shim, spacer, unplug. And I'm going to set that over here out of the way so I can put my machine up here. I need a bigger work surface. All right, I'll run that through slowly. The lights on. And here's our happy birthday. set our machine aside. And let's get back to our butterflies here. Finish coloring those. I'm going to start out with the pink. This is the Berry Burst. And I usually tape this down, but I'm just going to go for my luck today and make sure I don't move it. Just holding it down. All right. If you're watching me on YouTube, be sure you hit that subscribe button. That's down below. And also click that little bell. You'll be notified when I go live. I appreciate that. And I would also like you to follow me if you're able to. The same with Facebook. Be sure you like and share the video and follow me. I'm trying to build up my viewership. So I'd appreciate that. Okay, so there's number 1 done. And I need to set those somewhere where I'm not going to get inky all over. And these masks, you just run in the sink under your faucet and rinse them off and they come clean. I think I got more ink on me than I did the butterfly. All right, then we got number 2 mask. And we're going to do the same with that. We're going to line that up on top of those butterflies. And we're going to use Blackberry Bliss. Again, I'm going to hold that steady so it doesn't move on me. I should have really taped it down, but see, it kind of moved on me there, but it's easy to get back in place again. And if you're not working with a demonstrator, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to earn your business and have you shop with me. The link is down in the description of the video if you'd like to go there. I'd appreciate it. Okay, I'm putting this on a little bit heavier. I want it to be a little darker. All right. Looking good. And now we're going to switch to our pecan pie. And I'm going to use this brush. Oops, I better put my mask on there first. Jumping ahead of myself here. And all right, just looking at all of them to make sure they're lined up good. Okay. Okay, I think that's about good. That's a pad. Okay. Very pretty. Now we're going to die cut our butterflies and our happy birthday out. And I want to bring some washi tape over here to hold those in place. Got some old washi tape I've had for years over here. I can find the end of it. Yeah, great. It's not coming off right. Probably because it's so old. I'm going to put that on my pants to get rid of some of the stickiness. And let's bring our machine back up here. And our base plate, a number 2 plate, and a cutting plate. So butterflies will fit. I can fit everything on here at one time, so it'll be just one swipe going through. And get this lined up onto our butterflies. And our sentiment, happy birthday. Make sure that doesn't move on me. All right. All right, and our plate on top of that, and we'll cut this out. Now we can go fast. And I'm probably shaking the table. All right, oops, lost the butterfly there. Fix all of them out at the same time. 5 butterflies, but we're not going to use all of them. Well, we might. We'll see. And then our happy birthday sentiment. All right, get back to our card to assemble it. All right. I've also got another one of those gingham, and this measures 1 1/4 inches by 4 inches, and it's going to go across our layer here. I'm going to turn over so I have the opposite side. But first, I want to add our bow to that and our ribbon. And I'm not really measuring, and I'm just going to wrap it around. So I'm going to grab my tearing tape to hold the ribbon in place on the back side. So a couple little strips of that. Just to hold the ribbon in place. And I'm going to take your pick tool. It's right here. Remove those. And then I'm going to just attach it at each end. Run it across. And got my ribbon scissors here. Snip off that excess. And then we'll bring our card back over here. We're going to add that to the lower portion. And I'm just going to use my combo glue. It's pretty quiet. JoJo's taking her nap. Husband's out in the garage. I got the house to myself, it sounds like. All right, we're going to put this at the lower portion, going side to side. And then we're going to grab our sentiment, happy birthday, and we're going to place dimensionals on that. On the back side. So I'm just going to a few. And I'm going to snip one of these in half to fit in that small space there. Or maybe I'll just use the edge. That will work. All right. And I'll take your pick tool to pull those off with. Happy birthday. And we're going to keep this off to the right hand side. And I thought I had a bow here. Did I not? I'm not seeing my bow. I've lost my bow. All right. I don't know where it went. I'm going to have to make another one. All right, so we're going to take our butterflies and we're going to start with a larger one in the center. And I'm kind of fluffing up the wings a little bit. We're going to put 3, the big one, and then the smaller one, and then the smaller. I can't even talk today. 3 different sizes. All right, and then our Tombow glue. Hold them down. I'm just going to put a little bit in the center of that butterfly along its body area. And hold that down a minute. And I've got them all flying the same direction. Well, except for the bottom one. It's going the opposite direction. He doesn't want to follow line. Okay. And I'm going to bring my bow jig over here. I thought for sure I made a bow already, but I guess I didn't. I don't see it anywhere. So we'll just make another one. See how that goes on camera. Sometimes our fingers don't work when we're on camera for some reason. All right, and then we'll tie that off. And it looks like it's pretty centered. Well, it's not my ribbon scissors, but it worked. And we're going to place that over on this side of the happy birthday. And I don't know if I want it going straight on. Let me poof up these bows a little bit. It's gotten turned on me. All right, so we're going to place that down there. I'm going to grab my mini glue dots. Good morning, Aletta. Glad to see you. You can go back and watch the replay when we're done and get what you might have missed. I kind of started off slow. Didn't have my hot foil machine warmed up, so we were waiting for that. So you might want to fast forward on that part. All right, and then I'm going to trim those tails down and my ribbon, scissors. I'm going to make them fairly short. I don't need them that long. And I'm going to tuck that up underneath that sentiment. There we go. All right, so there's the front of our card. Happy birthday. And then on the inside, I didn't forget your birthday. I just wanted it to last longer. And we're going to add another butterfly on the inside at the bottom. So I think I'll put that one there just to dress it up a little bit. Do you have the hot foil machine? I'm completely addicted to it. I love it. I can't stop making cards with it. All right, we got one butterfly left over. We'll save him for another project later. All right, so happy birthday. See that sparkle in there? And I didn't forget your birthday. I just wanted it to last longer. Thank you. All right, so let's get on to our next card. And just checking my time today. Like I said, I might only do 2 cards today. We'll see. When I finish this, how much time we've got wasted. I don't want to keep you all day. All right. Get our bits and pieces all out here. I think I should have turned the fan on. It's getting warm in here. We're going to do some heat embossing with this one. Okay, this is a thank you card, I guess it is. Thank you, or thankful for you. It says, you're an amazing friend. All right, so let's get started with that. I'm using the Fern and Flora bundle, stamps and dies, and also the Moonlit Floral Designer Series paper, which this is in the clearance. It's marked down to $10.63 on sale. It was $12.50. So that's one of the paper packs that you can get on sale right now until the end of the month. But I wouldn't wait because things are selling out. So this is Moonlit Flora. And I'm using, which one was I was using? I'm using this pattern. Let me get this out of our way. And we'll get back to our card. All right. I'm starting out with the card base is our Secret C, and that's just our standard card size. It's 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4 inches. So I'm going to bring my bone folder, which I have misplaced. We'll just grab another one. Don't sweat the small stuff. And we're going to go this orientation. And then I have our Designer Series paper measuring 4 1/4 inches by 5.5 inches. No. Okay, yeah. I'm going to go the whole length of the card, so it's going to cover it completely. Kind of threw me off there for a minute. 4 1/4 inches by 5.5 inches. And like I said, it's going to cover the whole front of our card. So I guess it doesn't really matter which is up or down on this. It's kind of all directions. So we're going to go ahead and attach that to our card front. And I can just hold it straight up and tap it into place here. So we got all edges covered. All right, so there we are with the card front so far. And then next we have, this is our old olive cardstock, and I embossed it already. And this measures 3 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And then it's embossed with the Fern and Flora embossing folder, which has come back in stock again. And then I flagged the bottom a little bit. So I just cut up the center and then cut in diagonally. All right, this is going to go onto our card front, right up to the very top. And my husband's out there with the mower. I don't know if you can hear it or not. And I'm going to put this off to the right side of our card, just leaving a small edge on that right side. and butt it right up against the top. I forgot to put my linen thread along there first. I'm jumping again here. Let's take that back off. We've got Baker's Twine Essential Pack, and I'm using the beige color. You get 5 different rolls in here. And we're just going to wrap that around. I can do that without getting too messed up here. And I'm going to leave a little bit of edge here to tie a bow on the side. I'm going to wrap it around 3 times. And leave a little extra here. I'm going to have glue all over my fingers here. Oops, forgot to mute my phone. And I'm going to, all right, see if we can put this back down again where we had it. Yeah, that looks fairly good. Got glue on my fingers. I'm sticking to my cardstock here. All right, and this is going to tie on the side. So let's see if we can get a decent bow out of this. It's always hard to tie things when you're on camera. And I think I'm going to tie that in knots so it stays in place. And then we'll tie the bow. Well, it's still loosened up on me, but that's okay. We can tighten it later. And pull those tails a little bit tighter. Don't need that big of a bow on there. All right, and then next we have our vellum. Try not to lose my pieces here. I've already die cut some things out. All right, we got a piece of vellum that measures 1 3/4 inches by 4 1/4 inches. And I've taken my adhesive sheet and I'm going to attach that to the back of the vellum because, you know, when you glue with vellum, it shows through. So I didn't want that to happen. So the adhesive sheets kind of work with that instead. So let me get that tore off my relief paper here. And now it's stuck to me. And just put that in the center. I've got more sticky on me today. All right, then we're going to die cut this. And I'm just going to bring my small machine over here. Oh, I'm dropping things. And lights in place here. And Fern and Flora dies. We're going to need large fern. That's what we're going to cut our vellum out of. And we're going to place that right in the center of that vellum. And we'll run that through. I'm going to run this through a couple of times to make sure it goes through all those layers. Well, maybe one more time. Yes, we got Miss Squeaky here. Okay. And I'm running out of places to put stuff. we're not going to use the part that we cut out. We're going to have the shadow part. And that's going to go onto this area right here, off to the one side and kind of angled a little bit. So I'm going to take off that adhesive. All right, and then we don't have to worry about gluing it down at all. And let's lift it up underneath that twine and kind of put it at an angle. All right. Okay, and then let me see if I've got everything cut out or what else I need to cut out. I die cut that little stem out of Secret Sea. And the squiggly leaf is out of Old Olive. And we're going to do some stamping. And need the black Memento ink pad. Oops, sorry about the camera. We're going to stamp 2 flowers on the basic white. Let me get my stamps all out here so we have them lined up. All right, and then next, we're going to let that dry. We're going to color those with our Stampin' blends. And then I have a soft seafoam cardstock. We're going to stamp our sentiment, which says, "Thankful for you." And I didn't get that one out. How did I miss that? It's right here. We forgot it. Get a block over here. And we're not using our black Memento. We're going to use a different color. We're going to use our soft seafoam, which I got to reach for. I didn't have it over here. All right. Well, we are doing the sentiment with that. No, we're not. We're using Secret Sea for our sentiment. Thankful for you. And right about there. Thankful for you. Now we can close that up. Come back with our soft seafoam, and we're going to stamp our frame with the soft seafoam, and I'm going to line that up over our sentiment and try to get it without getting my head in the camera too much. Just gives it a little soft frame going around it. There you can see it. And then I'm going to stamp this flower onto the same cardstock. And I'm using, oops, wrong color. I didn't want that color. I want to do a different one. And I don't even know what I did with that, what I do with my stamp cleaner. We're just going to stamp off most of that. We're going to bring over our Golden Glow and stamp one flower. now we can bring our die cutting machine over here again, and we'll cut these out. And you cut this down to a smaller size. Grab our dies. And we need this one, and this one, and this one. And I'm going to do my coloring first. So let me bring my Stampin' Blends over here and we'll color those really quick. And we're going with Fresh Freesia. Flowers. I'll set those aside a minute. These won't take very long to color, so bear with me. I'm going to start with the light Fresh Freesia. We're just going to color the centers of the flowers. We're not coloring the whole flower. Just to give it a little bit of color. All right, and I'm just using the light Fresh Freesia. Now we're going to use our light Peaceful Pine to do the leaves. All right. All right, now we can bring our machine over and die cut. Tear that down to size. And I can fit everything on here. And I need some washi tape again. Put it on my shirt to get rid of some of the stickiness. I apologize, I didn't mute my phone beforehand. And large flower. Oops, I moved it a little bit. Let me get back in position again. And can I fit one more on here? I tear that apart, I can. Oh, that moved a little bit. Let me put another tape on top of it. All right, now run that through. Oops. It's all messed up here. Let's try this again. And then we've got one more flower to cut out. Get all of our pieces out here. Dies put away. Okay, so our sentiment is going to go up on dimensionals, Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm just putting 2 at each end. I'm going to sit across here. And then our flower up here is going to be attached down here. We're going to go ahead and attach these sprigs here with a little bit of glue, adhesive. And I'm going to put him more over to this side. This little guy. I'm not sure what kind of leaf or whatever this is. I think it's kind of neat though. Squiggly. And I'll go ahead and take this backings off our dimensionals. I'll place that down over our twine here. And then we're going to add this underneath there. Let me see, do I want it? I'll raise this little guy up a little bit. Adhesive. Do a little tuck there. It's still down too low. All right, and this flower is going to go there. And this one can go down at the bottom. All right, and where's our butterfly at? Okay. I gold embossed, or embossed with heating. I heated my embossing and made a gold butterfly on top of the secret C. So I'm not going to do that on camera because we're running short on time right now. So I'm just going to use the one I already had. You could put more butterflies on here if you wanted to, but I think I'm happy with just the one. I think I had 3 on the original one. All right, and then next, we've got our gems. And these go with the Fern and Flora suite. These are in the May to August catalog. All right, and these are called Dewdrop Embellishments. We're going to add those to our card front. And I'm going to use the, look like olive green. I'm going to place one right there, a large one, maybe right there, and another small one can go. I put one in the center of my flower, but I'm not sure I want to do that now. Oh, why not? Decisions. All right, and here's our little bow on the side. And I might want to cut those tails down a little bit. And now the inside, I'm going to use that soft sea foam again. And this is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And we're going to stamp our sentiment on the inside, which says, "You're an amazing friend." And I'm going to use that large leaf with my soft sea foam stamp pad. To stamp a leaf on the inside. And I'm just going to put it up across the top corner. Our secret C to stamp our sentiment. Which says, "You're an amazing friend." And we'll stamp that right next to that leaf on the right side. And we'll put that inside of our card and call this card "Den." It's too hot in Holland, 33 degrees, to make a card. Yeah, that's why I'm staying inside. We have air conditioning here, so I'm spoiled. Do you have air conditioning? Okay, so thankful for you. You're an amazing friend on the inside. And what friend wouldn't like to get this? This could be either for a man or a woman. All right, so let me bring our cards back over here. I'm just going to do the 2 cards today because my mind isn't where it needs to be after getting that news this morning that I got. Some sad news. So I'm just going to cut it short for today. And I'll be back next week, same time, same channel. And that will be August 20th, 2026. So until next week, y'all have a good rest of your week. And here's that birthday card. And the inside. I didn't forget your birthday. I just wanted it to last longer. In fact, I need to send this to a friend because I did miss sending her a card. So that might be where this one's going to go. And then thankful for you. You're an amazing friend. All right. So until next week, y'all have a good rest of your week. Stay cool. No air? Oh my gosh, I feel bad for you, Letta. We're spoiled in the States here. We have air conditioning. So do anything you can to stay cool. All right, bye-bye. We'll see you next week. Thank you for being here.